Hi guys and welcome to Horologique. Today we are going to check this North Edge Alps watch, and this one grabbed a lot of attention and sold quite well in the latest AliExpress anniversary sale from this year. And rightly so, because it claims a lot. It has a lot of functionality. It has a step counter that you can see right there, and it has a compass, among others, a backlight and many other things. So much so that it can be compared to a Casio G-Shock that I believe this can be the most direct comparison to. However, this one is supposed to have, of course, the compass, the pedometer, and other functions that, at least on paper, put it ahead of G-Shock. But in this video we will see if that is true. First of all, the watch claims to be made out of carbon fiber. I can tell you that there's no way that I can confirm or infirm that, but for the weight, I don't know if the weight can tell us anything, but we'll find right away. I've got my scales here. This watch weighs dead on at 50 grams. If we compare it to a, of course, smaller Casio Square G-Shock, the Square G-Shock weighs 50 grams as well, so there's no telling. This might be plastic as well. At the ridiculous price of $15 to $25, it is absolutely no problem if this is plastic and not carbon fiber. But just for the sake of it, let's compare it to a watch that is about the same size as this one. And this is my 9400, my Rangeman. And this, yeah, it is much heftier at 93 grams. So, yeah, we can give it the benefit of the doubt, although that isn't really as important as I said. Let's go back to the watch and its functionalities. And as you can see, this is the main screen. Compared, for example, to a Casio G-Shock that has a negative screen like this one, I believe it is much more readable because it is much bigger, much more legible. The contrast is not perfect, so the date is at the top of the screen. You've got the hour, of course, right there in the middle, and you've got the step counter in my case that I have put in there. As you can see, there is a small indicator putting that I've got the steps in there. There are other functionalities in here. There you go. If I go to the mode button, I can go to the date screen. It is the 7th of April. The stopwatch, which works perfectly well. All right. The timer, also present on most G-Shocks. The alarm, and there's 3 alarms here. Alarm 1, 2, and 3, as you can say. We circle back to the first one. This is an interesting one, the pacer. I don't really know what this is for. It might be to pace you through some exercises or maybe your piano lessons, but I don't have a utility for this one. I'll just show you how it works really quickly. So see, every like 2 seconds it will give you a pace. I don't really know if you can set it. I believe you can set it. I have not read the manual all through. Oh yeah, and speaking of the manual, something really important that I haven't done all through. You actually have to read through the manual that I have not completely done. I hate reading through manual, guys, but you pretty much have to in here. It is not a badly made manual. It is pretty straightforwardly explained, although the functionalities are quite not that hard to grasp, but yeah, it is quite easily laid out. So yeah, just if you want this watch, you'll have to go ahead and read this manual to understand it fully. All right, so we've left the pacer. Can we put it on 0? Okay, it's back to 0. And yeah, there's the functionality that I was expecting the most, but that actually, at least for me, and I did read the manual for this one, doesn't work very well. The compass. See, the compass, even though I calibrated, doesn't work really well, as you can see. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. That is totally possible, and shame on me, but I cannot make it work. I will show you with my G-Shock how a compass is supposed to work property on a watch, as you can see, and this is true. This is 180, it is due south, and there it continues and it goes like that. See? That is exactly how a compass on a watch is supposed to work. Here, yeah, it says idle. It is not true. Yeah, see, I continue to try and make it work. It keeps on indicating north and pretty much nothing more. However, the step counter has been surprisingly good. It is pretty much on par with my bracelet, with what my bracelet has found, and that is great. For this little price, this is an added bonus, so it is good. So this watch, don't expect it to be a smart watch, it is not. Do not expect it to be able to make the compass function work. If it works for you, that is great. For me, it didn't work. And is it carbon fiber or not? Does it really matter? At this small price, it doesn't really matter. The strap is really functional. It is nothing bad, actually. You can remove it on both sides, on the upper or lower parts, and that is, yeah, that is just great. I know that this may sound a little bit cheap, but I just saw one of the latest IWCs released at Watches and Wonders this year have pretty much exactly the same bracelet, so yeah, I believe that you cannot argue against that. If you look at the back, you have the North Edge Alps. Alright, so dimensions. You have a diameter of 47.6, so quite large, but not monstrous like some G-Shocks. You have a height of 12.4, so that's pretty much okay for this type of watch. You've got a log-to-log of 43.7, which is quite large, but once again, not too bad for this kind of watch. And you've got a log width of 24. Yeah, so this watch wears pretty big, nothing too extreme for these kind of watches. If you want to talk about extreme, talk about the things that G-Shock puts on, which look much bigger. This one looks quite okay. It is maybe not a daily, but if you're somebody wearing like a Phoenix or something like that, it is about the same. And okay, so the positive points about this watch will be the legibility. The legibility is just good. It is not wonderful because of that negative display, but it's good. You will read this watch from afar. The step counter, okay, they didn't need to put that in. It is right there and it is good. It is accurate. The fact that it is light, it might be carbon fiber, I don't know, I don't really care. The affordability, of course, I believe that during the sale I even saw it at under $13. I don't know how the new tariffs on these products will affect this watch. Any watches from China, but in any case, this will never be an expensive product. It is not as bright as, for example, the G-Shocks, but it is okay. It does well for itself, and for what this watch is supposed to do, it is perfectly legible when you use it at night. The negatives of this watch: first of all, that compass, I was really expecting it to work. I was really wanting it to work. At least for me, it doesn't. Once again, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I went through the manual. I tried to calibrate it, but it didn't work. Yeah, maybe it's on me again, but yeah, maybe it is just the watch that is not made well for these. And maybe the pretty useless functionalities like the pacer. I mean, who's going to use a pacer? Maybe you will, and if you will, please do let me know in the comments. But yeah, once again, for the price point, another weak point is water resistance, just 50 meters. I mean, for a watch that is truly sports oriented, they could have really put a 100-meter water resistance rating in here. In any case, if you get it damaged by water, it is not a huge tragedy like getting wet your mechanical watch or something like that. In any case, for the price point, it is absolutely a bargain if you're looking for this kind of sporty watches that you can put on and just not care too much, and that will give you just a little bit more than a G-Shock. It is a Casio G-Shock without the G-Shock protection, but with a step counter. So if you're looking for something like that, you know where to look. I was just curious to check this little watch. I'm not disappointed, and I've been wearing it for a while. So yeah, If you want watches to throw around for a while, don't hesitate and get this little one. The links will be in the description below. And if you like this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We review great quality, affordable watches in this channel, like the G-Shock, of course, but from time to time, like this little oddity in here. I'm gonna leave you here with other great quality watches that I absolutely recommend, and with some others that I do not recommend that you buy. Thanks again, and I'll be seeing you